Hello, welcome to Spotlight on Souris, brought to you by WCG TV, Access Channel 12, right here in Souris, Manitoba. Today is March the 20th, 2019. My name is Laura Higgs, and today we have with us Walt Finley, who is the president of the Souris Glenwood Golf Course. Welcome, Walt.
Well, thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming in. Now, I want to talk to you about the golf course and what's going on this year. Now, let's just review that the golf course is a not-for-profit organization, and it's run by volunteers and the volunteer executive committee and a whole bunch of volunteers who help us out as well, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And who is on our committee, our executive committee?
Well, as you heard, I am the president. Helena Gillis is our secretary. Deborah Kane is our treasurer. Bruce Apperly is helping to oversee. He's been on in the past. Then there's Laura Higgs, yourself, and then there's Pat Baldick, and
our members at large.
Members at large, and then we've got also Eleanor Thompson is going to be a PR rep for us.
Great.
I guess is the best way to put it.
She's going to be doing lots of our advertising.
She's going to be doing our advertising, and we had a couple of people step back this year after being on there for numerous years, and I would just like to thank them for their many years of excellent service.
Absolutely, for sure. So can you tell us a little bit about the history of the golf course?
Well, from what I understand, it's over 100 years old. I haven't been around that long.
Come on, Walter.
The grass greens were put in the early 80s. Irrigation system, I believe the first line was put in roughly the same time as that, and then it was double lined in 2002, from what I understand. It has made a fantastic gem for the community with the history of the course, etc., and it has been very well accepted.
Okay, so what's the condition of the course this year?
The condition of the course, as we speak right now, it's kind of white, but it's looking excellent. We finally got totally revamped after the flood years. We finished the last work last fall, so everything's looking good. The course last year was considered one of the best in the province for condition. The condition of the greens, there were a lot of courses that had problems with greens last year. The Souris course, their greens were fantastic.
Good.
The fairways were great, and it was well looked after.
Good, good. So when do we open this year?
That's a really, really good question. I'd like to see it next week, but we know that's not going to happen. We're hoping we will be open the third week in April. Now, we might be a few days earlier than that. We might be a little later, depending on how the spring melt goes, and spring rain, et cetera, et cetera.
Right. And we're very, very serious about not letting people on the course until our groundskeeper tells us it's safe to do so, correct?
That's right, because the groundskeeper has total control of the course. Right. He runs it by us when he thinks it should be, whether it's after a rain and whether carts can be allowed on the course, or whether it is strictly for the course not being in shape to be used.
Right.
The last thing we want is somebody to walk on the greens and cause damage
exactly.
in the spring when it's not ready.
When it's not ready to be played.
I mean, we've had people out there this winter going over the greens with snowmobiles, which I am not very happy with, and I wish there was some way we could educate them to make them realize that this is not a good idea.
No. No, it does destroy our property.
It does.
Our community property. So what's new with the golf course?
Oh, we are going to have new employees this year. We've got new equipment this year. We had some new equipment a year or two ago. We're leasing out the clubhouse this year, which is apparently they tried it a few years ago, and I'm not sure how it went, but we've got a young local entrepreneur who is very eager.
Certified chef.
Certified chef, yes, certified chef, who is very eager to step forward, take the bull by the horns, and see what he can do with it. I wish him well. I hope everybody comes out and supports him. He's been a chef in town for a while now, and he is just changing locations. But we have, like I said, some new equipment. We've got this year, we will have a sand trap rake For the people that weren't happy with the condition of the sand traps, we have stepped forward with help from a grant from the government, I will say, to purchase a couple more pieces of equipment that we had to help with for funding, but the government did come forward with a good slice of money to help us with that.
Oh no, now I'm looking forward to going in the sand traps. Walter, I can't do that. We're supposed to stay out of them.
No, you've got to practice all aspects of the course.
True, good point.
And the other
Good
side of the
point.
coin is, my theory has been always, don't let the course dictate to you, you dictate to the course.
That's right.
It doesn't work that well, but I always use it.
It's a little advice for your gameplay,
Yeah.
people.
The tournaments this year, we are going to change a bit of our format. We are going to go to one weekend, and we are going to have the men's, the women's, the seniors, everything on that one weekend. We haven't got all the wrinkles ironed out yet, but whether it's going to be a scramble, whether it's going to be individual, et cetera, et cetera. But this way, if there is a couple that want to come from, I'll pick Winnipeg, for a weekend of golf, they can golf in the tournament and not feel out of place because one's golfing and one isn't.
Right.
So both will be able to golf, and it may be a mixed besides for them. So we haven't got it all ironed out, but that is what is going to happen. And we are looking at, I believe it's the 27th of July, that weekend, for when the
For the
tournament
pick
will
a
be.
day. So that's a new format. That's new in how we used to run the men's and the ladies and then the mixed, et cetera. So,
Yeah, instead of having 6 different tournaments,
Yes.
that in the last few years,
which weren't maximized.
well, they
by the
weren't.
way.
The attendance
Yeah.
at them the last few years
Yeah.
was not advantageous to us.
Right.
So we're hoping to get some more people willing to step forward.
Yeah, a lot of work and a lot of planning, a lot of staff are there to cover those tournaments.
Yes.
So you want to maximize the tournament as much as possible. And we've had the course marshaled as well.
Yes.
In this past year, and we'll continue to do that
Yes.
this year.
We had some people step forward and volunteered to marshal a course. It worked very well. They put it across to the people that it isn't a for free option, that we really do need the revenue, because let's face it, the same as any other recreation, it takes money to operate the course, and that is a beautiful course, and we want to keep it that way.
But also for those who are members and people who are paying, it also makes the play better when you haven't got people like cutting in and coming through the fields to get on the course and interjecting in their game, because it's usually all planned out in a book, right? You sign
Well,
in and
it's supposed to be
that's the
signed in,
idea.
and then you know when you're golfing, et cetera,
Yeah.
et cetera. But
Yeah. So that's working out with the marshalling. It's
Yes.
certainly helping people who are paying to have a better game out there as well. So our golf course, what are the benefits it provides to our community?
oh, the benefits for the community are numerous, and I might miss some. I likely will miss some. The very first one is, it means more recreation at home. It means you don't have to jump in a vehicle and drive 30, 40, 50 miles to participate. It is reasonably cheap. I'm not going to say it's extremely cheap, but it is reasonably cheap.
It's reasonable.
We have different plans or different pricing for different options, whether you're a youth, whether you're an adult, it's a family. There are different rates available for different people. So one way or the other, we can fit you in. So the recreation at home adds to the fact that you have increased values for the property in the area.
Okay, so good for our community.
It's excellent for
Okay.
our community. In fact, our new EDO for the RM, actually, they bought a house in Souris primarily because of the golf course, is what I was told. So, I mean, that right there helps a lot. For them to step forward, having never lived in Souris, having no ties to Souris, his job was in the whole area. He could have gone to Brandon, he could have gone anywhere. After being on the golf course, they picked Souris. So it's picturesque. You can't ask for anything better than that. It's got youth programs, so the kids don't, or children, whatever way you want to put it, if they've got spare time, it's close enough to town, they can go out. There is instruction for them one afternoon a week. that will help them get started. And it's amazing once they start at a young age that they will stay with the game.
But it gives them some focus and something to do, you know, instead of just having time on their hands and, you know, being on the street. It gives them, you know,
Definitely.
sport to be involved in.
Definitely.
You know, and it helps to shape our young people because they are the future of our community and the future of our golf course, of
Yes.
course. But also a unique venue for events.
Yes, we have had weddings held out there in the last few years, and this reflects back on the condition and how well it is manicured. Because people don't want their wedding pictures taken in just anywhere. They want it to look very nice. They need
Yeah.
picturesque background, et cetera, et cetera.
And they have to book for those. They have to
Yes.
book events out there and picture taking times. They have to book them with us.
Oh,
on
definitely,
the golf
definitely, because
course.
we don't want to tie up the course for a wedding when there is something
Or-
other
yeah.
important on, and vice versa.
And reunions and other things that
Et
people
cetera.
might want pictures
Like there are
for.
numerous things that are booked for this year. You've got class reunion meals, you've got class reunion golf, you've got numerous, the last few years, the Cancer Care has had a golf tournament out there. I believe they are coming back this year in August. The Elks hockey team has an alumni tournament out there in June. They are definitely coming back this year. So it's just numerous things that it brings to the community, and it's a hometown get-together place. If somebody is away for a while, they come back, they'll come out on a Sunday or morning or whatever, have breakfast, and see who is still in the community and do the old chit-chat.
Now, the golf course isn't just run on fees from green fees and memberships. We also do some fundraising, Walter.
Yes, the last few years we have done a fair little bit of fundraising. A lot of people aren't aware of just how much fundraising does go on out there, but we have done fundraising. Well, I've only been on the board for 2 years, and there's been major fundraising the last 2 years to purchase these extra equipment or the newer equipment, to keep the course in good shape, to keep the clubhouse up and in good shape. Right now, we are doing a few maintenance renovations in the clubhouse, so it will be ready for opening toward the end of April. It's just, we have to do the fundraising or we'd have to jack the fees so much more that we might be scaring people off, and that's the last thing we want to do.
So tell us about the lotto.
We've got a vacation getaway lotto is what it was last year, and that was donated for a week's accommodation in a two-bedroom condo in either Florida, Arizona, or Las Vegas. And I was talking to the people that took the trip last year, and they were extremely happy with the accommodations, and they said they would endorse this again for this year coming up. So that is very encouraging. What the second and third prize will be in that draw, we aren't sure yet.
We're working on the details.
We're working on the details, exactly. The tickets will be $20 again. And that, just things like that help immensely.
And then we have another lottery that we're selling
Yes.
tickets for.
We also have applied for numerous grants from the province and the federal government. How many of them we are going to get, we don't know for sure. I did touch on the fact that some of this equipment we are having for this year has come from a grant that we got from the province, but we have applied for other grants to help with some wages, etc. Whether we get any or not, we don't know. We also have what they call is the four-play lottery, and it's $40 a ticket. I have a book right here, and it's $40, and that gets you 18 holes of golf in Carberry, Glenborough, Boissevain, and Souris. Plus, it enters you in 7 draws, 5 for $1,000, 1 for $5,000, and 1 for $10,000.
And that $10,000 has been won locally, has it not?
The $10,000 was won 2 or 3 years ago locally. Last year, there was $1,000 won locally, and the $5,000 was won locally.
Yeah.
So we have sold a number of these tickets, and it has helped out immensely. But for $40, that's $10 for 18 holes at any one of these courses.
4 places,
So it, plus the chance of winning some money.
yeah.
It's
It's definitely a good buy.
a good
Definitely.
buy if you're golfing, and it gets you onto 3 other courses besides.
So tell us about the membership fees.
Membership fees, it's for 9 holes is $22, for 18 holes is $32. A membership is $560, and that includes 1 free 4-play lotto ticket. The youth, which is 14 to 18, is $180, and youth under 13 is $75.
For a membership.
But for a membership. And that is unlimited golf. Tournaments, of course, are extra. Now, there is also a punch card available, and that gives you 10 9-hole rounds for $200, which is equivalent to
A free
11
round. A free
9-hole
round,
rounds.
for
So
sure,
you get
for
1
sure.
free 9-hole round if you buy the punch card.
And those punch cards don't go from year to year, it's just for this year, right?
This is the first year, but they will be expiring at the end of the year. So they are a good deal.
But it's great for people who don't come out and golf much more than the 10
Exactly.
rounds. It's a good deal for them.
It's a good deal for them, it's a good deal for the clubhouse. But they will, this year, they will be punched and dated.
Yes, yep, for sure. So we need to also remind people to sign in at the clubhouse.
Yes, if we don't sign in at the clubhouse, we have no idea how busy it is, for one. We have no idea how many are on the course. We really want to, I won't say control, but I really want to know we want to know what is what for wear and tear.
Yeah, and statistics, we need our statistics
Yes.
kept up, and even our members who are there on a daily basis should come in and sign in the book and sign up for a tea time. There are some mornings where you can walk out and get just on the course without a tea time, but there are some days where you should book it.
Well, yes,
gets
there
busier.
are actually, I'll say 50% of the time there is no issue whatsoever on time. But Wednesday night is men's night, Tuesday night is ladies' night. There's also Legends Golf that's been here on Tuesday afternoons, etc. So it's best if you phone the clubhouse to
Right.
book a tea time.
And the junior lessons are only held for 6 weeks in the spring, right?
Yeah, as far as I understand, they're going to be only held till the end of June.
Yeah.
When school is out, then the junior lessons
Are finished.
are over with.
And that's Monday evening about 4 o'clock, I think.
After school
Yeah.
on Mondays.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And of course, the tournaments we have, we were discussing the Pick-a-Day tournament, the Elks, the Cancer tournament, which is sponsored by another organization, and then ours is the Labor Day.
our big tournament of the year is the Labor Day tournament.
Right.
Labor Day Classic. It has been going on for numerous years. I wouldn't even want to guess how many. Well over 20, that's for sure. And I think it was Ferg Devens who actually started it.
Is that right?
And that's a lot of years ago that Ferg was, he's been active in the club for many years, but I believe it was Ferg that started the Labor Day tournament.
Well, we'll have to get him on the air and talk about that. Now, tell me, people can come to the spring meeting, there's a general meeting, everybody can come and find out more details about the golf course and et cetera, and when's that happening?
The spring general meeting is the 11th of April at 7:30. It's at the clubhouse. They can come and hopefully see the renovations that we've done. They look to us to be very forward-thinking, etc. We are doing a little bit of, I'll say, maintenance and some safety measures on the outside of the building to help things out. But if anybody has any questions, please come out and ask the questions there. We can answer them a lot better there with the whole executive than stopping somebody on the street and saying, why aren't you doing this? Or maybe you should think about doing this.
And good ideas. There's a lot, not just questions, but good ideas come out of meetings like that
Well,
as well.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. I
Yeah.
mean, one person can come forward with an idea and maybe they told me and I forgot about it.
Yes.
I mean, that wouldn't be the first time I've forgotten something.
And so when they come to a meeting and they can share that with us, then we can actually move forward and do something about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
We can look into it, we can
Discuss
proceed
it.
forward.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. So bring those ideas to the meeting on April the 11th at 7:30 at the Clubhouse. And people need to book their dates, events, tournaments now. After April the 22nd, there'll be somebody in the Clubhouse that can answer the phone. Is that
I
correct?
am guessing there'll be somebody there earlier than that, because our new clubhouse manager, I believe, will likely be there earlier, getting things set
Getting
up,
ready.
et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got to go through a good cleaning of the clubhouse and everything.
And-
So I am thinking by the 15th of April, there will be somebody there,
Sure.
so-called full-time.
And what's the phone number out there, Walter?
The phone number is 483-2956.
Great.
And like I said, hopefully there'll be somebody there. If not, my cell phone number is 725-7885. I answer it most of the time, and if I don't answer it right away, I will get back to whoever is calling with a concern.
Great, great. Well, thank you very much, Walter, for coming in. Just remember to come to the Clubhouse on April the 11th, 7:30 for our spring general meeting. Please call the Clubhouse at 483-2956 if you want to book an event, a tournament, or a special event with our certified chef. You need to call and certainly talk to him about that. And to any of your bookings for weddings or picture-taking events, you need to book those ahead of time. Thank you very much, Walter, for coming out.
Well, I will just add a little bit at the end for a finale, I guess. He is going to be doing some special things, the chef is going to be doing some special things out there certain nights that's not all in stone yet, so we don't know what's going on exactly, and we're leaving this in his hands. But he has said that there are going to be special evenings and special meals, etc. So that is really good. And don't forget about the lottery tickets for both the foreplay and for the vacation getaway. I mean, they both help out the community, and they both help you out too. So, I mean, it's a win-win situation. I just hope that a lot of people step forward and realize just how much this golf course means to the town and the area. It's not just the town, it's the whole RM, etc. It's, like we said earlier, run by volunteers. We've got a couple or three paid staff on the greens or on the grounds, and then we've got a couple in the clubhouse. But it should be a very rewarding experience this year.
Good, thank you, Walter. Don't forget that if anybody wants to volunteer and help us out, they certainly can contact people on the executive, and we will find options. Thank you very much for being here. This is Spotlight on Souris, brought to you by WCG TV volunteers. I'd like to thank Gail and Mark, who are our cameramen, Sheila Kirkup, who is our producer, and my name is Laura Higgs. Thank you so much for joining us.